For as long as I can remember, I've been searching for belonging and connection. My family moved around a lot when I was a child, and most of the time, I felt like I didn't fit in. I spoke the wrong dialect, my clothes were wrong, and unlike the other kids, I never had any relatives in the same town. When I was 13, I was sitting in class working on this math assignment when all of a sudden I hear, snip. Part of my hair is gone. I see John and Edgar running over there. John's holding a piece of my hair in his hand. I'm an easy target because I'm the outsider. I'm convinced that they're out to get me. The next day, in class, I'm still working on that math assignment. The girl in front of me, Catherine, doesn't like me, and I don't know why. I feel like I'm invisible to her and everyone else. But I'm not going to be invisible anymore. And I am no longer going to be an easy target. I reach into my pencil case, take out a pair of small scissors, grab a chunk of Catherine's blonde, beautiful hair, snip. Fast forward 25 years. Anders is preparing for the biggest day of his life. He believes he's going to be a hero. At 32 years old, he's willing to sacrifice his freedom, his life even, for what he's convinced he has to do. He's tried to find his place in society and to get people to listen to him his whole life, but he was rejected everywhere. He dresses in what looks like a Special Forces combat suit. Everything's prepared. He's planned this day for 9 years. He knows he'll be vilified at first, and he's okay with that. Anything's better than being invisible. At least now, he'll matter, not just in his country, in the whole world. Boom! My kids and I are on our way to the mountains when my phone rings. It's my friend Fauzi. Unni, turn on the radio. There's been a bombing in Oslo. The next morning, we learned the police caught the guy responsible for the bombing and a shooting spree on an island near Oslo. One man. And he isn't Al-Qaeda, he isn't Boko Haram, he isn't ISIS. He's a Norwegian, just like me. He grew up just a 30-minute drive from me. He went to a regular Norwegian school, just like me. Anders Breivik killed 77 people that day, most of them teenagers. What's the difference between a pair of scissors and a gun? Very little. The lies that we believe dictate the masks that we wear. Now, let's unpack that. Our actions are influenced by the beliefs that we have about ourselves and others. A lot of the times, these beliefs are not true because we didn't have access to the full picture. In these cases, our beliefs are just opinions. Our minds fabricate stories around these opinions, just like a fantasy movie. And we become characters in this movie, hiding behind the roles that we play to be liked, accepted, and seen. It's a vicious circle, really. We wear masks because of the lies that we tell ourselves, and we continue wearing them to hide our dishonesty. I realized that the character Anders played when he killed all those people wasn't so different from the character I played when I cut Catherine's hair. But I needed to understand more, so I began studying mass killers worldwide. And I found that they had similar traits. One of these traits stood out. All of them felt lonely. Whether they were suicidal teens, lone wolves, or organized terrorists, loneliness seemed to be the main cause for their unhappiness. And reflecting back, I understood that feeling. In fact, a lot of people do. In the UK, more than 9 million British citizens suffer from loneliness, according to the Joe Cox Commission. Prime Minister Theresa May has even appointed a loneliness minister to deal with the problem there. In the US, more than 40% of American adults say that they feel lonely, according to the US Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy. Our population has never been more connected via technology and social media than we are today. Yet, we've never been lonelier. Loneliness leads to feelings of lack of belonging, lack of support, lack of connection. Isolation makes our minds generate negativity and beliefs of not being enough. These beliefs are lies. But lies are not one size fits all. There's a distinction to be made between external and internal lies. Fake news is an example of external lies. Then we have the lies which were passed on through generations, giving us a certain image of how the world should be. That's how we tolerated slavery and racial segregation. Internal lies are fabrications we impose on ourselves as a result of feeling rejected, ignored, or violated. After cutting Catherine's hair in junior high, I got in so much trouble. I remember being sent to the principal's office. No one listened to my truth. They didn't know I felt alone. They didn't know I felt sad. They also didn't know that someone cut my hair. That incident confirmed what I'd felt since I was a little girl. I didn't fit in. I was wild and I was loud. I wanted to be a singer and a performer, but I was told to lower my voice, to not draw attention to myself, and to be more like the others. I started believing that I had to become someone else to belong. So I hid behind facades, and instead of pursuing my dream of performing, I studied law, thinking that becoming a lawyer would give me a place in society. I played so many roles that weren't who I really was. I was the little terrorist cutting people's hair. Mask. I was the good girl trying to be perfect. Mask. I was the meticulous and overworked lawyer. Mask. When you take off anybody's shield, we're all just humans, longing to be seen, to be accepted, and to matter. The thing is, these shields, these protections, are ground for disconnection, not connection. Disconnection is making our world dangerous, and it's making us miserable, because no matter what else we have going for us, no matter what we try to fill our lives with, we won't feel fulfilled unless we start having a relationship with ourselves. In our culture, as a global society, connection with our true self has been lost. And the conversations we're having with ourselves are often about not being the right one because we're not popular enough, smart enough, or successful enough. When these lies get too heavy to carry, we blame others for our illusory shortcomings. In our disconnection, we fail to see that we are linked to everyone and everything, that we are both dark and light, bad and good, broken and intact. We're all capable of atrocities. We're also capable of changing our beliefs. Each one of us has a decision to make. We can either cultivate our victimhood, our lies and armors, or we can choose the truth. So where do we begin? Right here. Ask yourself in what ways you believe in lies. Maybe like me, you think that people don't appreciate you. Now, is that really true? Or is it just a story we don't have to carry around with us anymore? When we change our beliefs, our masks will also begin to come off. Accept whatever happened to you, even if it wasn't your fault. I had to stop feeling sorry for myself for not having been seen growing up. I also had to stop expecting someone else to save me. When we take responsibility for our lives, we take back our power. And finally, start giving of yourself without expecting anything in return. Offer a cup of coffee to the plumber who's fixing your bathroom leak. Ask a caring question to the cashier at the grocery store, or look a homeless person in the eye. I used to hold back because I believed I was small and insignificant, and that I had nothing to give. The truth is, whatever we think the world is withholding from us, connection, friendship, love, we are withholding from the world. When we give of ourselves, our imperfect selves, we are seen, and we matter. So if we want to prevent the next massacre, or the next hair incident, or we simply want happiness, we need to heal our disconnection by making peace with ourselves. We need to bring our brokenness into the light and love ourselves despite of it. Join me in taking off our masks, and let's together create a place where we all belong. Thank you.